In this episode, we are going to solve two examples on arithmetic mean for grouped data. Now, when we talk about group data, you can also see one form in this example where we have the class and the class interval. So the marks, we have people who scored from 0 to 10 as an interval, and from 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. So these people are grouped in such a way that the data collection will be so easy. So in such instances, how do we find the arithmetic mean, which is the average marks? In this example, we are to find the average marks, which is the mean. I told you that the average mean the mean. And when we talk about the mean, we're also talking about the arithmetic mean. Unless, of course, there is an addition, say find the geometric mean, find the harmonic mean. But if the question leaves it blank as find the mean, then we are looking at the arithmetic mean. So straight away, we have an example where we are to find the average mean. So data was collected from KSTS, an institution, on marks obtained by students. So this is a grouped data. So in such cases, what we are going to do for grouped data, how to find the arithmetic mean is also very simple. So here our arithmetic mean is going to be summation of f of x on summation of f. The same formula that we know, very simple. But how do we get our x for grouped data? We know that summation of f, which is the frequency, it is already in the table, so we can sum it so easily. How then do we get the summation of fx? We know f, but remember the max is not the x, because if I'm to multiply f by x, 0 to 10, which value am I going to take? So it's an interval. We have to find the x, and the x here, please pay attention, the x represents the class midpoint. So any class that you are given, so when we talk about 0 to 10, this is a class, and the midpoint will represent the x, where the midpoint x is calculated as summation of, so that will be the lower boundary, which is the 0, plus the upper boundary, and everything is going to be divided by 2. So in this case, our x is going to be 0 plus 10 on 2. That is going to be 10 on 2, so 5. Are we okay? So the next case, our x is also going to be 10 plus 20 on 2. That is going to be 30 on 2, and we are going to get 15. The next part, it is the lower boundary, which is 20 plus the upper 30 on 2. That is 50 on 2, and that is going to give us 25 in order. So this will give us the x. So you can see that we have a single point value for x, where we can use to multiply the frequency to get our f of x. So simply find your midpoint, which is the class midpoint representing the x. So let's get into action. So I want to use the same table, so I'm going to add the column, which is going to say the midpoint of the class, and that is going to be my x. So now that I have the x, I can also add the column which says f of x. Are we okay? So I can extend my lines here. Now at the midpoint, 0 plus 10 on 2, that is going to give us what? Our 5. On the second point, we are going to get 10 plus 20 on 2. That is going to give us 15. This 2 is going to be 50 on 2, 25. This is also going to be 70 on 2. That is going to be 35. This is going to be 90 on 2. That is going to be 45. So we have our midpoint as our x. So now f of x, which is the multiplication of the frequency and the midpoint. So this we are going to have 100 or 10. This is 5 by 2, that is 10. We are going to have 120. Here we are going to also have 700 and 315, 135. So we are done with the table. We know that our arithmetic mean is summation of f of x on summation of f. So we have to find summation of f. So the frequency, 8 total 2 plus 8 plus 28 plus 9 plus 3. That is going to give us 50. Now summation of f of x, this is also going to give us 1280. So here the only thing you have to pay attention to is to how we can get the midpoint for the class. These values, they are the most important thing, how to get it. Remember, it is the lower plus the upper divided by 2. So here our average marks is going to be from the formula, that is going to be 1280 on 50, and this is going to give us 25.6. So averagely students should score 25.6. So let's get to the table and see if this is true. Now looking at the frequency, the highest of students scored between 20 and 30. Are we okay? 28 students. So meaning out of 50, almost 30, they are scoring between 20 and 30. So if we are saying the average should lie at 25, which is between the highest frequency, then it makes sense. So assuming we are getting a value, say the average mark is 10, meaning we are going to say people should fall between 10 and the highest is 28. It is off our analysis. Are we okay? So always check your answer in relation to the table. Let's look at the next example to also find the arithmetic mean. Now example 2. Find the mean score from the data. So we have our data grouped from 40 to 49. We are having 3, 50 to 59, 5, 60 to 69, 6 experiences, 70 to 79, 9, and 80 to 89, 8. We are also having 90 to 100, 7, and we are to find the mean score, which is the average or the arithmetic mean. So here we know that our arithmetic mean is also giving us summation of f of x on summation of f. So straight away we must get our x, and our x is going to be the midpoint of the score. So the midpoint of the score. So here we have from 40 to 49. So I'm going to use the same table and I'll add my x, and also I'll add my f of x so that it will be simple. Now my x, which is going to be for the first one, that is going to be 40 plus 49 on 2, and it is going to give me a midpoint of 44.5. So here that is going to be 44.5. The second one, 50 plus 59 on 2, that is going to give me 54.5. The third part, 60 plus 69 on 2, that will be 64.5. So you will always see a pattern, but that does not mean you should not punch it on your calculator. There can be a deviation. So here we are going to have 74.5. Here too, we are going to have 84.5. So assuming you don't punch here, you are going to write 94.5, but actually here is 95. Are we okay? So now we have our x and f, which is the frequency f. We also have our x. We can straight away do the multiplication for f of x to get our values. Now 3 multiplying the 44.5, that is going to give us 133.5. This is also going to give us 272.5. This is also going to give us 387. We are also having 670.5, and here too we are getting 676, and the last part 665. So we can write summation of all the fx, that is going to give us 2,804.5, and the frequency summation of f is going to give us 38. Therefore, the mean score, or the arithmetic mean, which is the average mean x from the formula, that is going to be 2804.5 on 38, and this is going to give us a score of 73.8. So let's check it from the table if this is true. So averagely we should have a score between or something around 73.8. So when you check from the table, the highest number of people scored around 70 to 79. So it brings the location to the class of 70 to 70. So further questions can be asked, but here we are tackling from the basics. So if we are asked what class has the highest number of students, or which class is this mean revolving around, then we can see that it is the 70 to 79 class. Are we okay? So this is how we also go by the grouped data. The difference is just how to find your x values. Once you are done, you can use the same formula to also get your arithmetic mean. So in the next episode, we are also going to talk about the geometric mean, how to go by the group and non-group data. Thank you for watching this episode. Subscribe to the channel, like, and drop your comments. See you in the next episode.